And you can think of OneNote as a digital version of a physical notebook. That's the metaphor they use, and I think it works very well and makes it, to me, makes it easy to use, one of the easier ones to use. All of your notes are stored in OneDrive. If you're not familiar with OneDrive, OneDrive is Microsoft's cloud storage system. That's kind of what this is showing you. So all of your notes are stored in the cloud. And the advantage of that is that if you enter a note from your phone, when you get back to your laptop, you can see the same message you just entered. Someone else can be entering something over here. So it gives you access to your notes from any of your devices and also from any device that has a browser on it. And it allows you to share your notes with other people so you can work collaboratively. And we'll talk about how to do all of that, but that's basically what OneDrive does in the process. Much more flexibility than when everything was stored just on your device. There are lots of note-taking tools out there, and they're all good. I've used a lot of them. So Google Keep, Evernote, and Apple Notes are three of the more common ones, but there are lots of others. We have classes on Google Keep and Evernote, but they each have some strengths and weaknesses. As I said, I use OneNote, Google Keep, and Evernote, all three, for slightly different purposes. So you don't have to pick one and use it exclusively. I think sometimes there are advantages to using more than one. So how do you get access to OneNote? And there's three main ways to get to OneNote. One is it is a free desktop app included with Windows 10. So if you have Windows 10, you have OneNote already. And I'll demonstrate how to get to these as we're going through. So let's start with this one. So again, if you're on Windows 10, all you have to do is go down to the bottom left to the Start menu and click on it. And then come down to OneNote. And if you've been using OneNote for a long time, yours may look like mine. This is an old version of OneNote, but the one we're looking for is OneNote for Windows 10. And you just click on that and it will open OneNote. And I clicked on it twice. And we're going to go into here and show you how to use it, but this is your OneNote application. Let me close that down. It also runs on a browser. So if you're not on your device, and if it's a device that doesn't have Windows 10, it could be a Mac, you can still get to your notes just by opening a browser tab and typing OneNote.com. And it looks a little different as you're first getting into it, but I'm going to pick the OneNote class notebook to open. And from here, it looks very similar to what we saw before. I've got my to-do list here that it opens up under. I'll leave that over there in case anybody has questions. And then the other way is from your mobile app or from your tablet, anything that you can download an app to. There is a OneNote mobile app. And let me go over here to my phone. Slide this over a little bit. And there's OneNote. So this is what it looks like. If you're trying to find it, just go to the App Store for either Apple or Android and download that OneNote app. And here's the same notebooks we were seeing. I'm going to go to the OneNote class. And there's the list of these sections. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm just going to take you to the same to-do list that we were looking at in the other versions. So several ways to get to your information, which makes it very functional and helpful. You've always got your notes, especially if you keep your to-do list and things like that in there. Questions about accessing OneNote before we move on?
I have a question.
You're great, Kathy.
Yeah, on my on my laptop, I saw two two apps. One is OneNote for Windows 10. Another one just OneNote.
Yep. So it looks
Are they
like
the same?
this. This is
Yeah.
an old version. So it was renamed OneNote for Windows 10 when Windows 10 came out. This is a pre-Windows 10 version. So this is an older version. It still works. You can still run that one, but this is the current one. So you can.
So the usage are the same.
Yep, you can use either one of them. They'll both go to your. This one may or may not be pointing to your OneDrive, again, because it's an older version. So this is the current one. This is the one I'd recommend using. This is the one that has all the updates and changes that have been made. This one is in pre-Windows 10 version. So I would use this one. And 1 second, like somebody's having trouble getting in. Okay, so it looks like Drake, you're working with Gayla over in the lounge, just to see if you can get her in here. All right, so if no other questions, we'll keep going here. So as I mentioned earlier, the way that OneNote is structured is it's using the same concepts as a physical notebook, which I think makes it easy to understand and use. So for example, the highest level is called a notebook, and it is like a physical notebook. You can have different notebooks, just like you can have different notebooks on your shelf. If you open a notebook, it shows you sections, just like the sections tabs in a physical notebook. And as you'll see, they actually look like this, the way they're set up. And then finally, if you're ready to enter information, you use a page, just like you would write on a page inside your physical notebook that's inside one of these tabs. So conceptually, it makes it very easy to understand how it's organized. You can move things around from pages from one tab to another. You can take a whole set of tabs from one notebook, move it into a different one. So they kind of keep that same analogy going in terms of the usage. So let's take a look at OneNote, and I'm going to use the Windows 10 version. So let me move this over, and you can launch from the start window as I just showed you. If you've put it down in your taskbar like I have, you can just click from here and open it up. So I'm going to use that just for speed. And this is my OneNote. I'm going to move this over just a little bit so we can see my notes, but also see OneNote over here. All right, there we go. So as I mentioned, at the highest level is the notebook level. And so that's this first level. That's what this icon is suggesting. These are 3 notebooks up there on the shelf above my computer. So I can grab whichever one I want by clicking here. These are all those notebooks up here. So if I wanted to look at my Get Set Up notebook, I could open that. That's the one that I use every day, as you can probably tell. Lots of stuff in that one. This is one I've set up just for this class. So, but that's how you can change from one notebook to another. When you click, it shows you which one is open by showing you an icon that looks like an open notebook. If you want to create a new notebook, all you have to do is come down here to the bottom where it says Add Notebook. Give it a name. And hit Create. I'm not going to create another one because I don't need another one, but that's all you have to do to create a new notebook. After you do that, it would be in this